Hi, this is John Wood, Results Fitness with your fitness tip of the week. This people decide they'd like to lose weight, they will start an exercise program and sometimes take it a little bit out of context. Exercise is wonderful for fitness, exercise is wonderful for health, exercise does a lot of things. One of the things it does is makes you hungry. So we don't want to overdo the exercise component when we are trying to lose weight, because we'll spend 3 or 4 hours at the gym and then go home and have such uncontrollable hunger that we can't control the most important part, which is eating the right amount of the right food in conjunction with the exercise program. This is not to discourage exercise, but it is to discourage overdoing the exercise component, because when we overdo the exercise component, when we're trying to lose weight, we can increase the chance of injury and more likely increase the chance of being so hungry that we can't follow the eating plan appropriately. So when you're doing your weight loss program, make sure we have a good balance of eating the right amount of the right foods and getting a well-balanced exercise program that isn't too much over the top. This is John Wood from Final Results Fitness with your fitness tip of the week.
If you're looking for a realtor to get the job done, call Kurt David Heiser. Whether it's buying or selling a home, Kurt is the guy for you. He has over 13 years of experience and has developed the strong sales and negotiating skills to provide you with the total professional home buying experience. Born and raised locally, he is a huge supporter of local sports and the wrestling programs. So give Kurt David Heiser a call today. Scott Breidenbach, local attorney at law with over 25 years experience. Free consultation. Give him a call at 610-327-9090, and there you see the website. So give Scott a call today for anything for your legal needs. Give Scotty a call, a good man in the local area.
Even in rough winter weather, your car goes the extra mile to get you home. So bring on winter's cold, frost, freeze, and snow. Because when the weather wreaks havoc on your car, Maaco is here to make it right again. With our 0% financing and nationwide warranty, we make it easy, affordable, and reliable to repair winter's damage. Fight back against Old Man Winter. Bring your car to Maaco and let us turn the car you drive back into the car you love. Maaco, America's body shop.
Got a great, unique chandelier and this mirror. Wow, I haven't seen one like this. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the greatest realtor of all?
Mr. Caldwell and Mr. Banker.
Well, someday, maybe it'll be me. And what I like to tell everybody is, we'll do whatever it takes to get the job done, and you have my personal guarantee. Call us.
For more than 50 years, Pottstown Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery has served its community with expert dental care, offering patients dental implants and a full menu of procedures for many types of dental problems, including bone grafting, wisdom teeth, impacted canines, facial trauma, jaw surgery, oral pathology, TMJ disorders, and sleep apnea. Get the smile you've always wanted. Contact Pottstown Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery today.
At Distinctive Realty by Design, we take a process that's normally stressful and time-consuming and make it smoother, easier, and more enjoyable, not to mention more affordable. A proven process, all the resources, a dream come true. Reinvent your lifestyle with Distinctive Realty by Design. The best part is, we invest in you, from appraisal, staging, and marketing to preparation and moving, while helping to lift the burden from your shoulders. Ready to learn more? Contact us today for a complimentary tour. Thank you.
From Springford Senior High School, the PCTV Network Sports presents Pac-10 Wrestling. Tonight, the championship between the Boyertown Bears and the Springford Rams. Good evening, everyone. This is Dave Ridenauer, joined by Jim Jaconis. And Jim, the gym is starting to fill up already. We're going to have an exciting match here. Two teams undefeated. Should be pretty neat.
Well, this match is probably one of the best in the district because the rankings right now, Boyertown's 1 and Springford's 3. So I'm expecting a real intense match. There's going to be some battling out there, And there's going to be some emotion. You're going to see a lot of emotion tonight with these kids. So the people coming tonight are going to see a real good match.
Okay, and you get on both sides of the mat now you have Pete Ventresca in his 9th year and also Timmy Seislov on the other side in his 15th year. They've been in these wars before. A lot of chess moves going on right now. What's going through the coach's head as they prepare for this match?
Well, you know, they're all experienced wrestling this year because of all the tournaments and everything. Sometimes coaches try to outthink the other coach too much. I think what you do is you put your best horses right where your weight is, and that's what you do. You go head to head, and you see who's going to win at the end of the night. And I think that's what a Boyertown coach is going to do. He's just going to say, listen, here we are, you come get us. So Springford, Seislov, he knows that, and he's probably make a few adjustments tonight at the different weight classes. But pretty much you're going to see a head-to-head competition in the weight classes.
That's pretty good. Now we got to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back to go over both squads. Dave Reinauer, Jim Chaconis, we'll be right back after these words.
For over 50 years, O'Donnell, Weiss, and Mattei has helped our clients resolve a wide variety of legal challenges. OWM Law provides legal representation to clients throughout southeastern Pennsylvania. Our attorneys and our highly trained support staff utilize the latest technology and resources available to satisfy the needs of our clients. O'Donnell, Weiss, and Mattei, delivering the highest level of professional service.
The Mercury delivers. Online as the news breaks. To you by daybreak. The Mercury is the best source for all the local news and sports in your town. And we're working for you in the community as well. Operation Holiday. Relay for life.
For home delivery, call the Mercury, 610-970-4500.
In print. Online. For you.
Just down the street, there's a hardware store with great tools, products,
and expert advice.
We've got everything you need because we know the community
and we know our customers.
So next time you have a home improvement project,
drop by
your local True Value hardware store. True Value.
Start right.
Start here.
Your True Value expert is A.D. Moyer in Gilbertsville and Pottstown. On the web at admoyer.com.
Score with big savings at Sanatoga Thriftway. Our large selection of food, drinks, and household items at great prices will keep you coming back. Stop by the deli and order big party platters so you can be fully prepared for the big game. As always, our friendly staff and fast checkout will make your shopping experience quick and enjoyable. Sanatoga Thriftway is celebrating our 14th anniversary of serving the Tri-County area, so stop by and check us out so we can check you out.
We're back here at Springford Senior High School. Dave Reinauer, Jim Chaconis. Here we get a look at some of the guys who are going to go tonight. And really, if you look in the rankings in the local newspaper, the Mercury, a lot of guys are up there pretty high, Jimmy. You look at the 106-pounder, talk about Campbell, who's only a freshman, you know, Malger, Miller. There's a lot of guys that are going to be wrestling tonight that are ranked very highly in our area.
Well, you know, in the last couple of years, the Pac-10 has been probably the wrestling team in the district. So these kids have gone through the youth program. They've gone through a lot of summer wrestling, and they deserve the rankings. These kids put a lot of time into this. Some of them have given up other sports in order to be that good in their wrestling field.
Yeah, we didn't get really a chance to talk in the pre-match talk that we had. What do we expect to see out of Springford here tonight? Now, they come in on a pretty good roll. They're 18-0. They're 6-0 in the league. They've won some big matches recently. They're on a pretty nice roll right now. Timmy Seislov has to be happy with the way his kids are wrestling.
Well, you know, Seislef does a nice job. He has some real good assistants that help him out. And, you know, these kids, again, their wrestling program over here from the elementary on up is very good. And they go out and find good competition. If you want to be good, you have to go wrestle the Eastons and the people from other districts that are very good. And Springford has done that, and they have a right to be number 1 or number 2 in this division.
Well, they are number 3 seed in the district duels, and they will be wrestling Penn Ridge on Friday. Last year they were 20-4, so they certainly have a pretty good idea about what's going on out here in the mats. Now, of course, on the other side, Boyertown is a team who comes in as a little bit of a favorite. Pete Ventresk, as we mentioned, in his 9th year, they are 18-0, 7-0 in the PAC-10, and obviously they're led by their outstanding wrestler, Jordan Wood, at 220 pounds.
Yeah, Jordan Wood, I think he was born wrestling, so his parents, you know, they own a Final Results over there in Boyertown, and when he was very young, he did a lot of lifting weights, and his dad was very interested in taking him to different wrestling matches, but he's had kids that's gone with him, so, I mean, it's a family affair. I know he's good for his team, but he also is a great teammate and bringing kids along with him to get himself good.
Well, you look up and down their lineup, they got a lot of freshmen, sophomores, and a couple seniors in there, so a good mixture of leadership for Boyertown. Well, we are moments away from the opening match, and we're going to be right back after a couple of words for our sponsors down here at Springford High School.
I want a professional heating company with heating and cooling service plans.
A company that considers my needs.
I want the security of price protection plans.
Along with 24-hour emergency service and heating oil delivery.
I want comfort.
I want Ollard Brothers.
Ollard Brothers, still family and still local. Ask about our America-friendly and environment-friendly agri-fuels, bioheat, and biodiesel.
When it comes to heating
and the environment,
there's only one choice.
Thanks, Ollard Brothers.
Mishak Physical Therapy and Associates specializes in fulfilling your physical therapy, chiropractic, and aquatic therapy needs in a caring, compassionate, one-on-one environment. With convenient locations in Gilbertsville, Bartow, Skippack, Phoenixville, and Limerick. Our ultimate goal is to exceed all of our patients' expectations with excellence in care and service. We offer flexible treatment times to accommodate your busy schedule, including Saturday hours. We accept most insurance plans and will work with you based on your financial need. Please call or visit our website for more information. Mishak Physical Therapy. Relieve pain, restore function, and start living again. We are here to serve you.
This portion of tonight's championship match is brought to you by the following. Phoenix Tax Consultants, the Tax Tacklers. It is said there is only one thing certain about life, death, and taxes. Tax time is here, and the Tax Tacklers are ready to take on your taxes. With 23 years experience, we know how to get you the best result. We don't just process your return, we plan your return. So give them a call or check them out online. Vermillion and Wright Wealth Management Group, plan your financial future today. Give them a call at 610-587-8600. That's Ryan Vermillion. Well, we're moments away from the first match, which will be at the 138-pound weight class. Referee Kyle Berger is out there giving his instructions as the captains meet for the flip.
Boyertown's choice.
Boyertown will choose, so they'll go for the odds or the evens, or we'll see how that rolls.
I think they took odd. What?
Boyertown is even. Even matches. And Springford will have the odd.
Okay, that's Kritsky.
And Dombrowski. Well, it should be a going. We have two seniors, Kritsky 27 and 5, with 11 pins on the year. Adam Dombrowski at 20-7 with 10 pins. Both these guys have certainly been around the Pac-10 in the wars for a while. And Kritzky does a nice job with a quick 2-point takedown. Our first points of the evening. No points yet. Dombrowski close to getting that reversal there, T, but no points yet. You can see referee Kyle Berger in on the action.
Yeah, Kritzky has a hold of the leg, and the referee's not going to award anything till he can break that. But that was a good flurry right to start off this match tonight. So you know we're in for some tough bouts tonight.
Well, you talked about intensity in our pre-match talk, and these two teams are certainly very, very intense. And there's a good stalemate call by the referee. Springford coaches didn't like it, but I think that was the proper call.
Yeah, there was no advancement there, so yeah, it was an excellent call.
There's a double caution there. Okay, here we go. Again, Kritzky in the gray with the black trim. Again, you talked about Boyertown. You should be able to recognize them with their two-tone hair, the red and the black hair. Springford in the traditional blue uniforms. Again, Kritzky showing good movement on his feet as he's in on that single leg. But Dombrowski does a better job of sprawling and countering that time. Yeah. Remember, they wrestled 2-2 and 2. 2 first period, 2 second period, 2 third for a total of 6 minutes.
Again, I think it's going to get into a stalemate unless somebody's going to break that hand.
See Kyle Berger's right on the call again as they go back to the middle. We'll be in the standing position as they back up a little bit here with 35 seconds to go. Again, Eddie Kritzky, a senior for Boyertown, and Adam Dombrowski, a senior for Springford. Dave Ridenauer, Jim Chaconis here at the PCTV Network Sports, bringing you this championship match between the two unbeatens.
Yeah, Kritzky was also a state qualifier last year, so. But you know, like I said, this is an intense bout, and they're always cautious so they get a little bit in that first period because you don't want to give too many points away.
And that'll do it for period number 1 as we have I thought it was a 2-0 margin for Kritzky, but I guess they didn't give any points.
He wiped it away. The official wiped it away.
All right, I thought Kritzky did receive a takedown, but I stand corrected. Thank you, Jimmy, as we're going to start the middle stanza as Dombrowski will be in the down position. Kritzky will have to try to be aggressive on top. He's trying to work the arm. Now
he's looking for legs, putting the legs in.
Dombrowski did a pretty good job of blocking that first time, but again, these two guys are very experienced wrestlers. You see Kyle Berger down in there checking things out. They're looking for a tilt right now, but not going to get it.
He's getting a little high here. Springford's going to try it. It's called going out the back door.
Well, Kritzky has a pretty good lock on his wrist.
He's going to get out. Get out the back door.
Looks like it's not yet.
Well,
I thought he had at least an escape there, but not yet. It's like Kritzky's got himself back in control. And these guys are both very, very experienced and very good wrestlers. This is certainly the kind of match we expect to see throughout our bout tonight.
I think we're going to see a lot of them all night. A lot on the line here with two undefeated teams. And you know, and I know when we were in sports, when you have a big rivalry, you like to have that year of saying, yeah, we won. You know?
Absolutely. Bragging rights is big. Boyertown is 7-0 in the Pac-10, 18-0 overall. Springford is 6-0, one less match. But there again, Kritzky doing a real nice job of fighting that off as we're down under 25 seconds here and counting.
He's very good with putting a half in and using his legs. He's very good on top.
Well, they don't have the old riding time where they used to be able to award wrestlers for riding. And there's a stalling warning against Springford.
Springford.
Yeah. When you see the referee's green arm goes up, that's the home team, Springford. Boyertown will be the red. Now Kritzky will take the bottom as he's going to try to score, whether it gets up on his feet or a 2-point reversal.
Oh, the Springford kid just gave him the neutral.
Okay, so he gave him an escape.
Now they're on their feet. Let's see who's. They're looking for a takedown to win it because it's been low scoring.
Again, two very skilled wrestlers. Dombrowski at 20-7 and Kritzky at 27-5. Kritzky won over 30 matches last year, 39-12. Second in the Pac-10, so he certainly has experience. Dombrowski as well. He's been a solid contributor to Coach Seislow's program now for 4 years. Both guys are sizing each other up, a little sparring right now.
Well, Kritzky hasn't been hit for stalling, so he's not going to be over. He's going to make a good shot, just like that.
Well, he's got that single in there.
He's got a steps over the legs. It's 2.
He's got it. He's got the 2 points. He's up by 3 now as the Boyertown faithful enjoy that move by Eddie Kritzky. Eddie Kritzky did look pretty good on his feet in that first period. Just didn't get the 2 points when I thought he had. Now he's going back with the legs there to try to wear down Adam Dombrowski. Dombrowski was recognized before the matches. It is senior night here at Springford, a real nice affair. Of course, Mickey McDaniel always involved as the athletic director. Timmy Seislov always generous as well as the coach in his 15th season, believe it or not.
Mickey does a nice job as an athletic director here. So when you get into this facility, he takes care of you. He's a very, very good athletic director.
Yeah, he wears a bunch of hats now as the head girls basketball coach. There's a penalty point awarded to Kritzky as Dombrowski was called for another stalling on the bottom. And looks like Boyertown's going to jump up to a 3-point lead as this is going to be a 4-0 decision for Eddie Kritzky. Kritzky, well-deserved W there for Boyertown, getting them started off on right as we go to the 145-pound weight class. Okay, we have Dylan Wirtz. He's a junior for Boyertown, 19-10, against another junior, John Cooper, 19-8. So it looks like another evenly contested match. It could go either way. We're down here at Springford, always a good time down here, as you mentioned, Mickey McDaniel. So we can tell Gus in the truck we have no monitor, Gus, just in case something is not going correctly in the truck. So bear with us here as we work out the kinks. Dave Ridenauer, Jim Chaconis here on the PCTV Network Sports. As again, you can notice by the two-tone hair, the red and the black hair, that's Boyertown in the gray, Springford in the home blue, Wirtz and Cooper, a pair of juniors. Neither wrestler has gained an advantage yet. They're still sparring around and trying to feel one another out and which way they're going to attack as they break the plane. And we're back. You see the time on the inset of your middle of the screen there, just under 50 seconds to go. Remember, they go 2-2-2 for a total of 6 minutes if there's no pin or tech fall. As again, they break the plane.
A lot of times, like I said, sometimes wrestlers come out and they like to feel each other out. And, you know, sometimes the first period there's no action. But, you know, getting that first takedown, that gives you a heck of a build of confidence. So everybody's trying to get that first takedown.
Well, you know, you also talked in a match as closely contested as this one. You know, you wrestle maybe a little bit closer to the vest. You're not taking as many chances you don't want to make that big mistake and end up into a 5-point move or maybe even worse. So neither wrestler are able to gain an advantage yet with under 10 seconds to go in the first period. And it looks like we're going to remain scoreless for period number 1. Remember, we have a battle of juniors here. Dylan Wirtz for Boyertown has 6 pins out of his 19 wins. John Cooper, also a junior, with 9 pins out of his 19 wins. So we have 2 very, very evenly matched wrestlers here in this 145-pound weight class. More and more wrestlers take the bottom position, Jimmy, don't they?
Well, they have to score points, so if you score the points, he might be able to hold the guy, and he might be winning by 1-0. But scoring your points is why you take down.
Okay, so it's a little bit easier to score from the bottom than the top. Obviously, top, you need to get some back points if you're going to score there. Wirtz does a nice job of getting to his feet and getting the 1-point escape. Back into that neutral position, which we just saw 2 minutes in the first period, where no one was able to gain an advantage.
Yeah, there is strategy when you wrestle, but there's also, you got to have, I think, like a little bull mentality. You got to go after the guy to tire him out and keeping pressure on your guy. Now, he just made a bad shot, and the Springford kid made a nice sprawl and come around behind.
That's a nice 2-point takedown for John Cooper.
It looks like he may get a reversal here if he can get his, he did. Got his leg in, got the nice 2 reversal.
The old switch move back in the day.
Yeah.
There we go. And again, there's that constant pressure. Dylan Wirtz did a good job. It looked like Cooper sort of relaxed a half a second once he got that 2-point reversal, or takedown, excuse me. Now Wirtz again is on top as Cooper does a nice job getting to his feet very quickly. But you have to bring him to the mat now, don't you?
Yeah, you have like 5, they count 5 seconds. If you don't try to bring him down, they'll call you for stalling.
And there was a stalling warning by Kyle Berger against Wirtz because he did not bring him down to the mat in that 5-second allotment time.
Why are there 2 officials?
We have Kyle Berger working the mat, and then Hank Coyne, a familiar face, he worked a JV match, and I guess he's out here helping out a little bit for times and stuff like that.
When they go out of bounds, some safety issues, because like I said, there's going to be some heated bouts here tonight, and there's going to be bodies flying.
Good job of Wirtz taking him down to the mat 20 seconds to go, but Cooper's doing a nice job getting to his feet, T. He just can't finish that move.
Well, being a head coach, I'd be a little upset at the bottom man because you got to get hand control. See, once you stand, you got to get that guy's hands. There he got out.
Good job there by Cooper as we now have a 3-3 match with just under 10 seconds to go here in the middle stanza. So I guess the final 2 minutes are going to be a tale of the tape as we're going to head into the last 2 minutes tied at 3-3. Well, Cooper will be down on the bottom position again.
Yes, his choice.
Yeah. A little problem with the clock there. They got 20 minutes up there rather than 2. I was going to say, that would have been a heck of a...
Oh, my goodness.
That would have been survival to finish. That would have been crazy going for 20 minutes. Okay, there we go. We're all ready to rock and roll. That time Wirtz does a pretty good job of...
He's looking for what we call a tilt. All he has to do is roll into that back for a 2-second count. He gets points. He's trying it again.
That time Cooper does a nice job of rolling through there. You see the Boyertown coaching staff cheering on their wrestler, Dylan Wirtz. Again, remember, a battle of juniors here. 2 highly thought-up juniors, that's for sure.
Oh, he let him out. Okay, now. Springford just has to be smart, keep pressure on him. And the Boyertown kid's going to have to be more aggressive. If he's going to win this match, he's got to take the kid down.
Well, Dylan Wirtz was 3rd in the PAC 10 last year, so he's got some experience as a junior. has an older brother, Jordan. I'm sure they've had some battles and broke a few lights and chairs and stuff in the living room, as I'm sure you and your brother did back in the day, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You and Pete. It's amazing how wrestling sort of goes within families.
And
doesn't
families,
it?
yeah.
It does. Brothers, fathers. I mean, it's a unique sport, but it stays with the family, that's for sure.
Yeah, like I said, it's gotten to another level with this youth program and wrestling all year round.
Well, you just look at the number of matches. You know, when you were a senior at Pottstown, if you wrestled 20 matches,
20 matches,
yeah, you're pretty lucky.
You're
Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah, you look at Jordan Wood last year, 46 and 2. I mean, there's a lot of matches. Oh, Kemmerer had, what, 200 wins, didn't he? Close to that for Upper Perk, you know, in 4 years. Average 50 wins a year almost.
I think Jordan Wood could break 100 in his sophomore year. That's amazing.
That is crazy. 31 seconds to go here is, again, Cooper trying to hold on to this 1-point lead. He has Wirtz kind of tied up right now. Wirtz can't get much. Now he's in on that single.
He's got to finish it.
Not yet. He's got to bring him to the mat.
He's got to step all the way behind. No.
Wow. And Cooper holds on. What a match. Johnny Cooper wins a 4-3 match as the score is all tied up at 3 now. As Wirtz released him and gave him that escape, and he wasn't able to bring him down to the mats.
Yeah, if you're going to let the man out, then you got to rely on your takedowns.
Okay, looks like we got Hunter Vogels. He is 9'11". And junior Frankie Krauss.
Frankie Krauss.
Yeah, 23-5 with 10 pins. Maybe the best wrestler on this Springford squad is Vogels with a quick move there. Almost got a quick shot as they break the plane, and they'll be back out there as, again, we talked about some of the physicality. We got Krauss and also Vogels.
This Vogels is a freshman.
Yep, he's 9'11".
And you notice already he's not bagging up. I like how these Boyertown kids have been taught. You just go after them. You don't worry about, you know, freshman, sophomore. That was a close call, but it was the correct one.
Springford faithful didn't like it, that's for sure. As Frankie Krauss, one of the local favorites here. He probably, as I said, the best all-around wrestler. He and Ryan Hayes are doing a great job for Coach Sysup this year. Both of them are juniors. 23-5 is now Vogels is in on that single leg, and see if he can bring it to the mat.
Well, he's got to move the kid. Nice counter by the Springford.
Boy, that's a nice move. That's Krauss again doing a nice job. But I tell you, Vogels looks sharp for a freshman. As you mentioned, not backing down at all.
Not backing down.
Yeah. Especially a guy as ranked as high as Frankie Krauss is, with 10 pins out of his 23 wins. Vogel with 4 pins out of his 9. Just under a minute to go in the first period. A lot of action. No points yet, but a lot of action. As Vogels and again, there's some good action right here at the edge of the mats. And Frankie Krauss certainly not backing down either.
Well, you know, Dave, when they can throw in a freshman in their lineup in a top match like this, it says a lot for their program. So
right. They could have as many as 5 wrestle tonight as well. So that is pretty amazing, and that tells you about some of the depth that they have at Boyertown as well. Because, you know, but the JV match, which was unusually large, because we've done a lot of matches when they only had like 3, 4, 5 JV matches. There were 10 of them, which again shows well for Springford and Boyertown with the depth that they have in the numbers that they're able to produce. Still no score here in the 152-pound weight class. Hunter Vogels with the red and black hair in the gray unis. And junior Frankie Krauss, 23-5 in the blue.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sure even him being a freshman, he's probably had maybe over 100 matches in his life already, because sometimes you get in those AAU tournaments and wrestle year-round. So he, like I said, he probably has a lot of experience, and they're not afraid to put him in that lineup.
Absolutely. Well, he certainly showed well in that first period as the score remains 0-0 as Krauss will take the bottom position. We'll see what Vogels can do from the top. Obviously, Krauss wants to try to get to his feet. Yep, score. Sort of unusual how he didn't move much there. I guess he wanted to see what Vogels was going to try. Then he went for his counter there as Vogels got a little high, almost lost his balance.
Springford is noted for what he's trying to get right there. We call that a Granby roll. He was trying to get the leg. But you can score a lot of points, so I can see why Boyertown kid let him out, so he didn't get in trouble.
1-0 now in favor of the junior Krauss. The overall match score is 3-3. We've had 2 decisions. Eddie Kritzky started us off at 138 with a 3-0 decision, and 4-0 decision, and John Cooper at 145 with a 4-3 decision, and a really good match between he and Dylan Wirtz, and our score is 3-3. 1-0 to go here in period number 2 with 1:16 and counting. PCTV Network Sports bringing you this championship match between the undefeated Boyertown Bears and the undefeated Springford Rams.
Frankie, being the junior, is going to be a little more defensive and not make mistakes. But we'll have to see. Well, if Boyertown wants to win this match, he's going to have to press. He pressed that first period. Now he's a little tired.
Well, as a former coach, Jimmy, you look for those bonus points too. You look for the major decisions, tech falls, and pins and things. So you try to build up some points that way as well. But these matches have been very, very tightly contested. Vogels got in there pretty deep, but again, Krauss doing a nice job of countering.
He's a good counter wrestler.
Just under 20 seconds to go here to see if either wrestler can score in the middle period as Krauss tried to throw the little shrug there and could not get it.
And one of the things we try to tell wrestlers, the guy who's higher or the guy who's off his knees has the advantage. So any young wrestlers out there watching, make sure you stay on your toes when you're wrestling.
Okay, so they're going to take the neutral position. Still 1-0 in favor of Frankie Krauss. As these first 3 matches have gone just like we thought, T, they're very, very close. A misstep here, a misstep there, and is a deciding factor. Again, Springford into blue, Boyertown into visiting gray.
See, right now it looks like Springford's not going to press unless the kid makes a mistake, the Boyertown kid. Oh, nice move there, but didn't take advantage of it. Boy, nice.
Well, Hunter Vogel certainly has some skills. He has some quickness. He has caught the junior Frankie Krauss off guard a few times, but Krauss, to his credit, has really done a nice job of countering and staying on his leverage and balance. But Vogel certainly has been the more of the 2 aggressors, has been Vogel's. Just when I say that, Krauss with a nice shot. Krauss in a pretty good position to try to pick up 2 takedown points.
As soon as he steps, there it is. He's going to get it soon. There you go, 2.
There's a takedown. Now he's going for some more as he goes out to the side. He's now up 3-zip.
Frankie took advantage of him, tired him out a little bit, and he made a real good shot to get his takedown.
Well, again, I think you see some of that experience. You have a junior going up against a freshman. Now he's going for some more points. He's got that pretty tight. He's got the arm. He's got the 2. He's got that tilt going. Krauss has 10 pins on the year, so he can finish. He knows how to finish.
No,
Vogel's doing a heck of a job, I tell you what.
You got to give Vogels a lot of credit. That'll be a 3-point near fall. So that'll be a 6-0 win for Frankie Krauss. So that'll be 6-3 now in favor of the Springford Rams as we head into the 160-pound weight class.
Take a look at, he has a nice deep half and a bar in the back. If the top man, if he'd have just dropped back a little bit, he might have had that pin secured.
Okay, we're up to the 160s now. We have a pair of sophomores. Greg Harvey for Boyertown at 25-4. 6 pins on the year. And sophomore Steve Rice, 11-3. So again, 2 sophomores going at it. It would appear that Harvey with a slight edge maybe, with some more matches under his belt. But Steve Rice certainly no slouch at 11-3 with 2 pins. We're up to the 160s already. We started at 138. We've had 3 decisions so far, and they've all been very, very tight matches. And we expect to see a lot of that here this evening. Greg Harvey was 3rd in the Pac-10 last year. He won the districts. He was District 1 champ last year and had a very nice record of 30-12. This year he's up to 25 wins already.
Yeah, he's rated by the Mercury as the #1 wrestler in his weight class right now.
Steve Rice going to go out there to try to prove otherwise. Almost had a takedown there. It's Harvey trying for a throw as he got the whizzer in there, but Rice did a nice job of countering and almost getting a 2-point takedown. There's a nice ankle pick by Harvey. Can he bring him to the mat? No, he breaks the plane. Kyle Berger's been very consistent on that edge of the circle. Yes. Still no score here in the first period of the 160-pound weight class. Harvey and Rice. Oh, there's a nice ankle pick by Harvey.
Ankle pick, yeah. Beautiful ankle pick.
Good quick move by the sophomore as he's up 2-0 now. As he tries to work some back points. Rice doing a good job of getting up to his base.
You know, a lot of times you hear people on top is when they tie the bottom man's arms up. That's what you want to do. That's one of his supports. So if you can get those arms tied up, first of all, you're going to ride him most of the period, but you're looking for that turn.
Well, the first period will end 2-0 in favor of the visitors. Greg Harvey, he will now be on the bottom position, as Rice will get an opportunity to try to see if he can score from the top. However, Harvey gets up to his feet very quickly and very easily. Rice brings him down to the mats.
Listen, Springford as a team is very good with this, tying the wrist and the arm up, and they work their tilts and pins. So Harvey knows can't let him have hand control.
Looked like Harvey had a 1-point escape there for a second, but Rice came back on, and now he's got the single leg. Harvey's trying to cross face, tries that throw again, but Rice does a nice job of countering. Just got to watch the locked hands. There it is.
Escape.
There's a 1-point escape for Harvey. He's now up 3-0 with half of period number 2 remaining. He likes that ankle pick. He's going for that quick pick on Steve Rice's left ankle.
He's a tall wrestler. If you look at his body type, he has that long reach. So he's probably perfected that. Again, he's going to see. He'll make both these guys are now. They're a little tired, and they're going to make good shots. They're not going to get themselves into trouble and make a mistake. Because sometimes just giving the guy a point or two lead is tough because the competition is so good tonight.
Well, also you don't want to get sloppy and get off balance a little bit. And next thing you know, there's a 5-point move and maybe even a pin. So both these two wrestlers are very cautious at this point.
Oh, nice ankle pick again. He's quick on that.
He really is. Wow. signature move for Greg Harvey tonight.
Well, I'm sure the coaches are now looking at him. Let's see what he does here and try to get that score to an 8-point so he can get us more team points.
Yeah. Yeah, if they win 7-0, it's a 3-point decision.
Yeah.
But if they win by 8 or more, it becomes a 4. Yep. 4-point major decision. Got to build up those bonus points. You know, it's funny, both these two teams come into this match averaging well over 50 points per match, but this match has really been tight so far with 3-point decisions.
It sort of reminds you of a college match. That's when you watch college wrestling on TV, it's very close.
Yep. There's a 1-point escape as Harvey allows Rice to stand, and they're in a neutral spot. He likes his advantage. He likes his chances from the neutral spot where both wrestlers are standing. Harvey has 2 takedowns this evening and an escape for his 5 points. Rice with an escape. Yeah, you talk about college. I guess you have to go right to the top with Penn State.
Wow.
Cal Sanderson and those guys.
He's done an excellent job.
Man, they're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be chasing old Jordan Wood down and seeing if they can lock him up for Penn State. That'd be a heck of a coup.
Well, I'm pretty sure Wood is ranked nationally. I think he's 9th. That's pretty good.
I would think
he's
ranked. Yeah, I would think so. He's only a sophomore, and his better days are ahead of him, believe it or not. And it's hard to believe for a guy who's had so much success so far. As we're closing in on his match coming up shortly, as we're in the 160s. But Greg Harvey sort of slowing down here a little bit. He and sophomore Steve Rice as they break the plane. Again, both wrestlers try not to get sloppy and make a mistake here.
I think Harvey's going to wait until he gets that ankle pick. I don't think he's going to be over aggressive now that he's got the lead. There it is. He waited for his chance to get that ankle pick. He's sort of like a sly wrestler. You notice that?
He really is.
Waits for his opportunity for that ankle.
Little snake late in the grass there as he waits till he rolls through. There's that roll through that you talked about.
Yeah.
Springford has been known for, but a 7-1 lead for Greg Harvey. He is only a sophomore. You know, we sort of forget that how young these guys are because they're so good so early and so young. You know that Greg Harvey is only a sophomore, as is Steve Rice, who has wrestled very well here tonight.
I would think, though, the coaches were trying to press Harvey to go for at least some back points to get that win for him, that major win.
Well, he does have 6 pins out of his 25 wins, so he really hasn't done a lot of pinning as compared to some of the other wrestlers on his squad, but he certainly knows how to finish guys off as there he keeps the push going. As Pete Ventresca tells him to settle down a little bit there, as they don't want anything to happen here. And that'll do it, and that'll be a 7-2 win for sophomore Greg Harvey. We'll tie that score up at 6-6 as we get ready for the 170s. Looks
Westlake.
like, yep, we got Cody Richmond for Boyertown and Taylor Westlake.
Wow, again, both kids with 20 wins or more.
Richmond has 22 wins against 5 losses, and Westlake has 20 wins and 3 losses. Richmond has 6 pins on the year. Westlake has 9, so he certainly knows how to finish his wrestlers as well. This, again, should be another one of those close matches. Both wrestlers are highly thought up in the area.
What's nice now when you get up in this weight class, you get to see some bodies that are built like wrestlers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, some big guys.
Big guys.
Yep. 2 nice-looking athletes here with Taylor Westlake and Richmond. Again, both of them seniors. Again, I want to mention that Mickey McDaniels and Barry Schaefer and the guys did a heck of a nice job honoring the seniors here, the wrestlers and the managers. They had a couple of young ladies as well getting recognized for their years of service at Springford. And good to see all the parents out as well. Proud parents with their sons and daughter. There's Westlake goes in quickly as Richmond sort of ducked his head and he tried to go for a little snap down move, but Richmond, again, an athlete, heck of a year playing football for the Boyertown Bears, and Coach Sicily transitioned pretty quickly to the wrestle match. Jimmy, now you played football and wrestled. How long does that take to get from football shape to wrestle shape? It takes
It takes 2 weeks.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly their technique's okay, but their conditioning.
Yeah.
You know, people don't realize how tough it is. You know, it's only 2 minutes each period, but it's a long 2 minutes sometimes, especially when both guys are going at each other.
Yeah. Yep, I know. As a former high school football player, then played basketball, I thought I was in pretty good shape. I played both ways, and I could barely get up and down the court 2 or 3 times, and I was tired. Takes a while. I didn't know how long it would be for wrestlers. Till around Christmas time, these guys would be in pretty good shape. Again, still no score here in the 170s. 2 long, lean guys. Taylor Westlake in the home blue of Springford, and again, the red and black hair. Cody Richmond in the gray uniform as well.
So far I've seen Cody doing most of the shooting. So Springford kid might be getting a stalling warning soon.
Westlake has the choice, and he will take a down position. Uh-oh.
Caution on top.
Caution on top, okay. Richmond trying to anticipate there, and he got caught. Again, Taylor Westlake kind of stays in his base position there. Didn't make a move. I guess he wants to wait to see what Richmond does as Richmond sneaks that half in, trying to get some of those tilt points that you talked about, Jim.
Right now the leg's in, and he's going to try to pry that half. Now, as coaches, if you're on top and you're going to use legs, you have to make sure your hips are high, because if you don't, you can get yourself in trouble, and the bottom man can reverse you a lot easier.
Well, we just talked about conditioning a couple seconds ago, and people don't realize even how tiring that is just to be in that position and try to hold your opponent down, or if you're on the down position trying to get up and get some offense going. But really tough now with Richmond trying to stick those legs in there, and that just wears on you. Again, there you talk about that wrist control. Richmond doing a pretty good job of controlling those wrists.
See what? All right. See, he's not got to watch his hips. See, his hips are staying high and on top, and he'll be okay. I tell you, I never like to wrestle leg people because it does tire you out. You're struggling to get off the bottom.
Yeah. Westlake trying to hip up there, and again, here comes Richmond now. He's trying to work those legs in and get a tip.
He's trying to push what's called a 3/4 there. Push that head under and he got a little bit more to get back points. It's close. Oh, he got out of it.
He thought both of those shoulders were exposed. Pete Ventresca wanted referee Berger for some back points, but he'll have none of it. And Westlake will do a nice job of getting out of all this with no points against him. And he's going to have 2 minutes now to try to get some points on Cody Richmond as Richmond quickly gets to the bottom position. Another one of these very close and contested matches, T. We knew it was going to be this way coming in, and boy, I tell you what, these guys have really wrestled hard.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to be in the locker rooms listening to their pre-game talk, because I'm sure both teams got fired up for this.
Absolutely. And this is one of those matches where I don't even know if you need too much of a pre-match speech. You know, if you're not ready to wrestle in this one, you shouldn't be in the sport. This is a Donnybrook between 2 rivals, Springford and Boyertown, who have predominantly been very, very successful on the mats. Pete Ventresca doing a heck of a job in his 9th year, and of course Timmy Seislove in his 15th year the same. Westlake trying to work some back points as well as he tries to tie up Richmond, and some of the Springford fans want to know where's that stalling warning on the bottom, because Richmond is on flat on his belly and he's got to do something. He gets back up to his base now. Again, Westlake is one of those long angular guys as well. Now Richmond gets to his feet.
He's got to get hand control for him. You see him working hands.
That's a good job by Westlake, though. Again, we talked about Richmond. Had a heck of a year in football. Is a good running back, over 1,000 yards, an all-league performance for Coach Sisley. So you know he has some body strength and endurance. Taylor Westlake, another senior, his experience coming through as well.
See, right now the Boyertown coach is getting a little excited because Springford's hanging on his legs. You got to move up. If you don't move up, that's when you'll get that stalling warning.
Boyertown coaches give him to keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And of course, Taylor Westlake right now holding on for dear life. And there's a caution. Okay. You can see as he moved his arm up.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches, when you're in a tight match like this, the more starts you can get, the better it is for that bottom man.
Yeah.
So if he can get hand control and get his hips out, warning on top.
He didn't bring him down to the match within that 5 seconds. Yeah.
Wow, I'd hate to see now this match.
Yeah, end up with a penalty point.
End with a penalty point.
Yeah. This has been a good one.
We might have our first overtime bout though too.
Westlake he's going for a tilt.
Nope.
Now it's just a roll through those. Now he has to be careful as Richmond up on his feet.
8 seconds.
He takes a quick peek. Can he get that 1 point? Westlake, no.
Wow.
Wow, that's a good match. And we're going to go to overtime now. 0-0 through 6 minutes. Okay, we're going to go to a minute.
1 minute period.
See what happens here. Neither wrestler was able to get a takedown, obviously, by the score of 0-0. Conditioning now. There's Richmond in on the single.
Yeah, he's got to finish it. If he doesn't advance, it's going to be a stalemate.
Yeah. Westlake has the ankles. Richmond trying to figure out what to do here.
Trying to stick his leg in there now. He should have. The ref, let's see. I would give him 2 right there. Yeah, he's got the leg in.
Stalemate.
Wow.
Stalemate. That was close. That was close. Well, I could see you and Armada complaining on that one, and the other side was happy for the stalemate.
Well,
right?
I mean, they were from the neutral position, so he let it go a little bit longer. But if he was on the bottom and he came around, his leg was in. That's a match.
Wow. Taylor Westlake with a quick takedown and pulls it out in overtime. What a match. Taylor Westlake on senior night doing his job. 9-6 is the score now in favor of the home squad.
When you're in overtime, okay. All he did was duck under that arm and got him back of him. When you're going into overtime, you can't relax. That's what happened. Relaxed a little bit, he made a nice shot.
That was a nice takedown. All right, we got Mike Fretz at 8-2 for Boyertown. Fretz coming out, going up against Danny Kriebel. We got a pair of juniors. Kriebel at 11-8. 7 of his 11 wins have come by way of a fall, so Danny Kriebel certainly knows how to put people away. This match has been everything that has been built for. These guys have really gone at one another, and boy, Taylor Westlake, the MVP so far with that big overtime win over senior Cody Richmond. Back to the middle here at 1:24 in the first period. Again, Dave Ridenour, Jim Chaconis here on the PCTV Network Sports. Boyertown 7-0 taking on Springford at 6-0, which is, for all intents and purposes, the championship of the Pac-10. We're at the 182s. We started at 138. And there's the quick whistle as they broke the plane. Fretz coming on strong here as he is 8-2, as he has finally broken into the lineup for Coach Ventresca. Kriebel, a solid 11-8.
So again, it looks like it's an even match.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, and we expect to see Danny's younger brother, Matt, a little bit later on tonight, as we talked about the family tradition of wrestling, how it seems it's passed down from generations, fathers, sons, brothers. Fretz is in there nice and deep on that single. He's trying to bring him to the mat, but
no, you got to keep that leg. A lot of times when you're in that leg, if you can't get his hips into you, that guy could still sprawl, and that's exactly what happened right there.
Kriebel looking back for some help from his coaches. Coach Kirkus there, one of the assistants, shouting some instructions for him, but oh man, he was close to getting a deuce there, but that'll do it for period number one. As Kriebel will, Fretz will take the down position. I'm sorry, that's Mike Fretz for Boyertown.
How good is it when you have a lot of matches going into that second period at 0-0 tonight?
Yeah, and with a lot of action too. It wasn't like they were just standing around. I mean, there's shots, there's counters, there's close calls. A lot of action for a 0-0 period is hard to believe. Kriebel on top has to try to get some offense going, and obviously Fretz on the bottom trying to get at least an escape as he gets one right there as he works his way to his feet and kicks through. Scores the first point of the 182-pounders. Both wrestlers sort of tied up now. Jimmy, were you a proponent of the tie-up, or did you like to have them loose?
I like to tie up, but I guess today kids have their different styles. Some kids like to tie wrist up, some kids like to lock up, and then there's the kids who like to shoot out like that. Take the shot out far. That's two right there. Good job.
That's a 2-point takedown by Fretz as he gets that 2-point takedown right before they broke the plane. He now has a 3-point lead over junior Danny Kriebel. Referee Kyle Berger gets him set.
Now, Danny has the brother on the Springfield team, so we'll see him
a little bit later. Yeah, 126-pounder. Young sophomore doing a good job for Timmy Seislove and his gang. It's amazing how people sometimes look ahead and are talking about the district duels and all those things on Friday. Both these two coaches want their teams to focus on tonight because this is going to be the way this match is going to go. You can't worry about matches down the line in postseasons. Fretz doing a good job there of maintaining his leverage. I know Timmy Slice's starting to get the wheels turning. He just walked over to the scorer's table to find out the name of the Boyertown wrestlers. They get ready for the 195, 220, and 285 as they're starting to work that chess game, T. Who's going to go out there.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the way we've seen the wrestling tonight, it could possibly come down to that last match tonight.
And the last match will be 132-pounders. Scheduled to match are freshman Chris Berry and junior Nick Beauchamp. Now that can change, but if everything goes to plan, it could come down to a freshman and a junior. Berry, at 11-0, and Beauchamp at 17-12. 9-6 is the score with the home squad on top. Springford Rams doing very, very well here in the early going. They have 3 decisions. versus Boyertown's 2, and they're up by 3, 9-6. As Kriebel gets to his feet here, and nice move right there.
Oh.
Wow. He's got him pretty tight. He's got him pretty tight, chest to chest, but Kriebel doing a good job of fighting.
Well, this would be a big win for Boyertown right here to get some points.
There it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, Mike Fretz with a big pin. Big bonus win for the Boyertown Bears. That'll jump it up to a 12-9. Go ahead, T.
Just the deep half Nelson right there. Got the smack. All right, who do we got here? All right, chest-to-chest pressure and a half Nelson, and you can see shoulder blades hit, boom, match is over.
Well, we have William Scholl going out there for Boyertown. William Scholl and Nick Perry, as Perry does a good job getting a quick takedown. William Scholl is a junior. He's 16-5. And Perry is senior at 19-9 with 11 pins. So Nick Perry certainly knows how to put you away as well. Although Scholl has 9 pins and certainly no slouch. There's a little caution there. Again, Boyertown in the gray with the red and black hairdo, if you will. And Springford in the blue. Perry with a quick 2-0 lead. Boy, a lot of excitement in that 182-pounders as Fretz with a big move there with that 6-pointer and the pin.
Yeah, if you really make sure you even brought it up before, a lot of times going from your feet right to your back at 5-point move, but he, instead of getting the 5 points, he got the pin.
He got the slap, absolutely. 2-0 in favor of Nick Perry. And I'm sure Coach Seislove would like to get at least 3 points out of his senior as he's going up against a junior, William Scholl. But obviously William Scholl not going to give him an inch as he's fighting him tooth and nail with just under a minute to go here in period number 1.
Well, the Scholl moved up, so he looks a little light, you know.
Yeah, Perry does appear to be the bigger wrestler.
Bigger wrestler.
Yeah, he weighed in at 182, so he had an opportunity to wrestle there. So he could be giving up some weight to Nick Perry. He does look to be a little bit smaller, so he's going to have to try to use quickness against the senior. Perry again trying to keep him flat on the mat. However, he must move to the side or he'll get called for a stalling warning as well if he's not trying to work a pinning combination. They've really tried to up-tempo the sport of wrestling and make the wrestlers move out there.
You know, if you can always move off that bottom and you keep moving, you always have a chance of scoring. Now, I'll give him a lot of credit there. It was 2 seconds on the clock, and he gave his maximum effort to get out off the bottom. That's how you score those easy points there. The guy's not expecting it.
Well, Perry will be on the bottom now as he tries to score from that position, and Scholl's going to try to break him down and work a little something from the offense, but Perry does a real nice job of getting to his feet. Again, there you can see that Perry is the bigger wrestler, and there's the stalling warning against Perry because he did not bring him down to the mat within that 5-second allotment.
That was quick.
And I like the job that Kyle Berger is doing, and he also explains to the wrestler that, hey, you got a caution or a stalling warning for not bringing him to the mat quick enough. I like the job that he's doing. Good move there by Scholl to bring Perry down to the mat, as it looked like Perry was going to get at least one out of that.
Well, Scholl looks like he's looking for some back points there. If he can get, he got the foot. No, 1 count. So he didn't get any points out of that. That was a good try, though.
Absolutely good try. But again, I think you can see maybe some of the size and strength there as Perry was able to rip through that. But I'll tell you what, Scholl is working it pretty hard. There's going to be a stalemate call. As they'll go back to the mats in the middle.
It looks like Scholl's strength is on top,
Yeah.
putting it, especially with those legs.
Again, he's trying for that
Up.
That back points there. He's got the legs in there. And the bar, working that head.
That's what, a couple guys on Boyertown. Eddie Kritzky used that too in his match. You got to watch. The bottom man can get to his base. He's got a chance of moving. Right now, when you're flat, that top man has all the control. If he can push that head through, he'll get points. Oh, he got points. So he got
two.
At least two.
But again, you can see some of that strength.
Yeah, that strength right there got him out.
Absolutely. But there's a nice 2-point near fall for Scholl as he ties this match up at a deuce with about 3 seconds to go. And he's going to go into the final period here, tied at 2. That was an impressive period for William Scholl.
Well, listen, he took him down, and he did the smart move here. He took neutral.
Scholl certainly has been aggressive here tonight against the bigger wrestler. As we mentioned, he did weigh in at 182, so he's probably given Perry a good 10 pounds. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Got to get his head up. He'll get 2. Gets us there. Get your head up. There it is.
Look at William Scholl.
That was a nice dump. As we call a dump is you just take under the arm and take the person to the side.
I'm sure Coach Seislov was hoping for at least 3 points out of Nick Perry, the senior, but I'll tell you what, William Scholl wasn't told about it. He's really wrestling well, He's giving this guy fits. Now he's going to put those legs in there where he's been able to really ride them and gain some control.
Yeah, as long as he keeps working that head, he won't get called for stalling, which he's doing there.
He's almost got some tilt
points. Oh, he got
going.
some more.
Yeah, he's got some more tilt points. Did he get 2 out of it?
Yes, he did.
Okay, 2 more near fall. He's up 6-2 now. Well, you can see why William Scholl is 16-5. And I know Coach Ventresca said that he gives us some versatility. He can wrestle 82, he can wrestle 95 for you. I'll tell you what, he's doing a heck of a job with 40 seconds to go here. And if he sticks those legs in again, he can get an opportunity to tilt Perry again. Nick Perry hasn't been able to figure out this combination at all yet. He's really struggled with Scholl.
This is definitely a match that shows you technique will win out over strength.
Yeah, he's got 10 seconds to go to hold on here and pull up, which many would consider to be some sort of upset. I know this was a match that Coach Seislov wanted to win, and boy, this is a big win.
I think it's a big upset win.
Absolutely, a good win for Scholl, 8-2. Wow, it's going to be 15-9 now as Boyertown heads into the meat of their lineup. Now they got some big guns coming out. Jordan Wood's going to come out here at 220.
This is the match you and I were looking for.
Yep, we got Jordan Wood and Mason Romano. Mason Romano, one of those studs off Coach Brubaker's football squad, and enough said about Jordan Wood.
Well, after this match is over, one will have a loss.
Yeah, that's right. Both of them are undefeated. Jordan Wood at 21-0 and Mason Romano at 12-0. Wood hasn't been able to get as many pins as he would like because he's gotten a lot of forfeits this year. But he's already up 2-0. Now he's contemplating his next move.
He's wrestled the best in the country, so I know his confidence going out there. He's going to look to go pin. He don't care how big this guy is. He's going to look to pin, and I tell you right there.
He's got something going on there.
I think it's over.
I do too. I think it's going to be a quick one for Jordan Wood. Romano's a big, strong kid, but Wood just has too much technique. Wow. There's a big pin for Jordan Wood. Jordan Wood makes quick use of his time out there on the match with another big win, as it's now 21-9, T.
Okay. Listen, right there is as tight as you can get it. He has his elbow in front of his chest, and he's not getting out.
Well, we got Jordan Wirtz, who's going to bump up to 285, going up against Josh Boyer. Josh Boyer, no joke, at 22-5 with 18 pins. He knows how to put you away, gets that big body on you. But Jordan Wirtz also at 30-3, and he is just a good wrestler for Boyertown. He is a defending Pac-10 champion, won over 30 matches last year. But give Boyer a lot of credit there. It looked like Wirtz had a takedown, but Boyer would have none of it.
Wirtz is ranked at #1 at 195. And how about saying to you, Coach, I'll go wrestle the heavyweight.
Yeah, how about
that tells you a lot about his
yeah, I'll go to 285 if you need me. And
his character.
Yep, he's got a quick 2-point takedown there. And again, that I think those two back-to-back wins for Boyertown, actually a pin, a win, and a pin, has sort of taken the air out of the Springford balloon right now. As the stands behind us got very quiet. 21-9 is the score in the overall match, as we went pinned by Fretz at 82, a big upset win by William Scholl, 8-2, and then of course a pin by Jordan Wood. And looks like Wirtz is working for something right now as well. He's got a chest-to-chest job. There's another pin, another quick pin by Boyertown.
Well, right now Boyertown has opened that lead, and they're not looking back.
Well, you know how this thing snowballs in wrestling, Jimmy. Oh man, when it starts going. And right now, Boyertown has all the momentum.
Again, just chest pressure, locking his arms up, and when you're a big guy, it's tough to bridge.
And now we're getting into the twins for Boyertown. We got Jacob Campbell, 23-5 as a freshman. 8 pins going up against the sophomore Jimmy Frank at 14-10. So this should be another good match. This is supposed to be one of the matches that people are looking forward to when they come into this match. Again, Campbell, a young freshman, his freshman twin brother will be wrestling a little bit later as well. We talked again about the brothers and the family traditions. 23 wins and 8 pins for Campbell. Frank has 14 wins and 5 pins at the 106-pound class.
Again, they always say the lightweights, they're always moving, and they're the more exciting matches. But so far, we've seen the heavyweights
absolutely
bringing all the excitement in.
Right, and again, some of these matches may be previews of the Pac-10 championships, which will be televised right here on the PCTV Network Sports, which will be Saturday, February the 15th. Don't forget, this portion of tonight's championship match is brought to you by the following. I want to thank Realtor Kurt Davidheiser for an enjoyable home buying experience. Attorney at law Scott Breidenbach for all your legal needs. Final Results Fitness, keep your 2014 New Year's resolutions this year. And Vermilion and White Wealth Management Group. Plan for your financial future today. Dave Ridenauer, Jim Chaconis here, bringing you all the matches. Again, the crowd has certainly quieted in the home stands behind us here with this big onslaught from 82 on with 3 pins and a big decision for Boyertown as they jumped up to a 27-9 lead when they had been losing 9-6 as they break the plane.
It's really nice to see the Campbell name since he was on my team when I coached in Pottstown. So he knows his uncles right here. Matt's side probably coaching him. Brian had an excellent career, took second in the States. So, like you said, that family tradition is really valuable, and these kids carrying it on.
Exactly, and again, he was inducted into the Tri-County Hall of Fame last year in October of 2013, and certainly well-deserved. Brian Campbell had a heck of a career for the Trojans and wrestled at Lock Haven and Millersville at the college ranks. Still no score in this one yet as the two little guys are going at it, Campbell and Frank.
Now, a lot of people, they don't know, if you see that leg, the leg was caught underneath. If you don't let it go, they'll just call stalling, so that's what happened.
There's a stalling warning against Campbell. He looks over to the coach, and the coach says, hey, you're not doing anything. You got to move. You got to get to the side. You got to try to work a pinning combination. You just can't be happy standing there. And again, Frank doing a good job getting to his feet, but Campbell countering. Now this is where young Jacobs got to work the top and try to get some back points. 5 more matches to go out of the 14. We started at the 138-pound weight class. We are down now with the little guys, the feisty ones, the 106s. Well, it's amazing. A lot of people came to see the Boyertown heavyweights, and boy, they did not disappoint at all, did they?
No.
Wow. Pin at 82, pin at 220, and a pin at 285, and of course led by the All-American Jordan Wood. But don't sell short Jordan Wirtz and also Mike Fretz. They did a heck of a job getting the momentum going for their team.
As coaches, we always like the practice room. We're having good people. It makes everybody better. And I'm sure that Jordan Wirtz works out with Wood all the time.
Yeah.
So
I can't do anything but help him out, even though it might hurt his confidence a little bit in the practice room. But I'm sure the two Jordans go at it, and Wood also helps him out, I'm sure, as he is a heck of a wrestler. He's now 31 wins on the season with still some time to go. So he's going to push that 40 mark, I'm sure, as well. As we're down under 20 seconds to go in period 2. Still no score between the lightweights, Campbell and Frank. Now there's a stalling on the bottom as both men have been warned now. And that'll do it for the second period. We mentioned this just to look ahead a little bit. Boyertown is the #1 seed in the district duels tee. They will take on #8 ranked Quakertown over the weekend. And Springford is the #3 seed. They will take on #6 ranked Penn Ridge. So, well, I tell you, no rest for the weary here for these guys at this point in the season.
Got a reversal from...
There it is for Campbell. He scores the first 2 points as he now tries to work a pinning combination. Jimmy Frank trying to get to his base, but right now Campbell's doing a pretty good job of keeping him flat on the mats.
Listen, Boyertown's known for when they're on top of the person, they're very good at riding and going for pins. So, you know, I'm sure right now Jacob feels pretty confident now. He has control of the match, even though it's only a 2-0 score.
Well, he's got that tight waist in there. Again, there's that roll through that Springford has tried to utilize over the years, and Campbell was able to counter it. Still a lot of time to go here in the third period. A minute for Frank to try to get something, and of course Campbell to do so as well. There Frank gets to his feet, and they break the plane. We'll be back out as Campbell looks over to the bench to his coaches. They're pointing to their temples, telling him to think, to make sure he stays in control. Again, Frank very easily up to his feet. And
Campbell's got to be careful. He's got warned for stalling, so he can't be hanging on a leg.
My thoughts exactly there. You know, he's got to bring him to the mat. And again, Frank doing a nice job of getting to his feet. He is a sophomore going against the freshman, Jacob Campbell. Remember, 23-5 for Campbell, 14-10 is the record of Jimmy Frank.
Yeah, I think that rule's been in effect for a long time, but you have to come out and go for pins. You cannot lay back on the man. I think that was an excellent rule, and like I said, that's been around for a while. But it just makes wrestling a way lot better.
Yeah. You know, they try to keep the fans into it as well, you know. He's trying to make it a little bit more exciting as Campbell's trying to work that tilt. He's got some back points going there. I don't know if he's going to have enough time.
Nope.
But he did get some back points.
3
He's got 3 of them. So he will win 5-0 in a battle of the 106s. That'll jump the score up to 30-9 in favor of Boyertown.
Now this is the other Campbell boy.
Okay.
This is David Campbell.
He's another, obviously a freshman. He and his brother are twins. And Ryan Hayes.
This is probably one of Springford's best wrestlers right here.
I would think Hayes and Krauss. Hayes come out very aggressive there and with a quick 2-point takedown and looked like he was trying to do a little bit more with a little cradle on the side, but obviously Hayes is a junior, a little bit more experience than the young freshman. As you mentioned, 23-2. Very, very good record this year for Coach Seislauf.
He said it was all right. He came, a lot of times people want a slam call, and as long as you come down with them, they're not going to get that call. I think the official has done a great job tonight.
I think so too. I really think Kyle Berger has done a nice job. There's going to be a caution on the bottom. Trying to jump the gun, anticipate the whistle a little bit. Campbell doing a nice job getting to his feet. But again, you can see some of the strength there that Ryan Hayes has as he's able to bring him down. And again, there's that 2 years of difference there between the freshman and junior. Okay, he's going to allow him up. So there's going to be a one-point escape. Yep. Hayes feels pretty good on his feet. He's going to try to look for a big 5-point move here. As Campbell, another takedown for Ryan Hayes.
I think he's going to, might work on his feet. Nah, he took him down easily now twice on his feet. So to me, his strategy, if he can't turn him very shortly, he'll kick him loose again and go up on his feet. There's that tilt that Springford is very good at.
But a good job of Campbell fighting through that. But again, you can see a little bit of the body strength, though, of Ryan Hayes. Even though he's 113 pounds, he's certainly very well put together there. But Campbell certainly no slouch, has been wrestling for a long time. He and his twin brother have really done a heck of a job wrestling in the youth league for Boyertown. And Hayes cannot get that tilt.
As I mentioned before in the beginning, I said he's just a little bit behind because of his injury to him with that broken arm. But knowing Campbell's and the way his dad is, and he'll catch up awful quick.
Well, he's certainly got a bright future, no doubt about it. You know, he may take some lumps here against the older wrestler, against Ryan Hayes, but he'll learn from it, get some experience. Certainly not going to give in to him, give him an inch.
Oh, no.
Certainly this match is not over by any stretch, but Ryan Hayes very calm and composed out there. Certainly has a game plan that he's sticking to. Campbell's going to continue to get after him.
Like I said, that's a coach's dream to have freshmen come up and be able to wrestle juniors and seniors at that level.
Absolutely. Well, as I mentioned, there's going to be five freshmen wrestling for Boyertown, and all of them making contributions. You know, it's amazing when you get that kind of help from those youngsters, and certainly not good for the rest of the Pac-10 for the next couple of years, that's for sure. 1:20 to go here in the middle period. Hayes enjoys a 3-point lead at 4-1. Campbell goes for the shot, though. Campbell certainly not backing off at all. Hayes trying to counter that single leg.
Yeah.
You talk about when you're flat on the mat there.
Yeah, good wrestlers have good hips. When he took the shot on him, He had a good sprawl. Again, when you get flattened out on the bottom, I told you, the guy who's higher, he's on his toes, he's going to get
it. Well, that'll be the third takedown for Hayes, as he now has a 6-1 lead over the young freshman. There's a 1-point stalling on Campbell. Yeah, he's got to get up to his base. He's got to work a little bit. Sounds easy for us to say over here, but it's not when you're wrestling a talented guy and you're trying to work something, and sometimes you just can't get it going. And there's Campbell working it now as he's trying to get to his feet, but there you can see Hayes still maintaining, and they break the plane.
It's really frustrating for Campbell because he's trying awful hard. I mean, he's trying to get his moves, and he's just getting countered.
Yeah.
So it becomes very frustrating.
Absolutely. Like I said, you could tell the difference in the body strength and experience for Hayes, as Campbell does a good job getting up to his feet, but he can't get anything else going with that as Hayes gets the arm in there. And we'll go to the final 2 minutes as Ryan Hayes enjoys a 7-1 lead over freshman David Campbell. Don't forget, make sure you stay tuned to more sports coming up here on the PCTV network. We got hoops coming up. We got the Pac-10 championships in wrestling, which was going to be held Saturday, February the 15th at Boyertown High School. And there's a good escape for Campbell.
Yeah, a little.
Pottstown and Potts Grove going to battle out for that second spot in the Final Four for the Pac-10. There's another takedown for Hayes, and PCTV Network will be there. Now he's going to let him up again.
Yeah. He'll trust. The strategy now is he's going to score points, try to get that major win.
Yeah. He's up by 6. He's got to win by 8 or more for that. But again, Campbell's not going to back off. He's the aggressor. He goes in there, ties up.
Yeah, I don't care if you're losing 8-0 or 1-0. You just, the wrestling mode is to go full speed all the time. And like I said, as a freshman, he has that mentality. He's going to be very good as he gets older.
Yep. I'm sure he and his brother both are going to be certainly names that people are going to know about as they continue to progress and mature through the program. 11-3 now in favor of junior Ryan Hayes. He has 5 takedowns.
So right now he has a spread, so probably he'll try to work a little bit more for some back points.
Hayes takes a quick peek at the clock. He sees there's 39 seconds to go, and he has an 8-point bulge. So he's going to allow him up. Campbell's going to get another escape.
His strategy might try to be that 5-point move, take down to his back.
But again, there's Campbell with the shot.
Campbell says, you know what, I'm still coming at you. Like I said, he doesn't care what the score is. He's still going to wrestle to the very end.
Yep.
So I give him a lot of credit.
Absolutely. I tell you what, you've seen everybody that's going tonight has really given 100% and gone from whistle to whistle. Whether they won, lost, got pinned or not, they certainly have given it their all. You can tell why both these two teams were 18-0 coming into this match.
He better take him down or he loses the spread. Oh, yeah, right on the buzzer. Wow.
Both guys went buzzer to buzzer there, but that'll be a 4-point win for Springford. That'll bump them up to 13. Boyertown will remain at 30. I think we're going to have Garrett Mauger here. Yep.
And is it Hunter Mitch? Is that who that was?
Wrestling 120 for Boyertown. Garrett Mauger for Springford. Yep,
Hunter Mitch.
We got a pair of sophomores here. Again, pretty evenly matched. Mauger at 20-5, Mitch at 18-10. Mauger with 11 pins out of his 20 wins, though, so he certainly knows. And again, here's another name that's synonymous with Boyertown is the Mauger boys.
Yeah, but I hate to throw it in.
I
His
know,
dad
I know.
wrestled
They're
for me.
Pottstown. They're all Pottstown guys. I let them know, too. They're all Pottstown guys. Still no score here in the middle, or first period, excuse me. Dave Ridenauer, Jim Chaconis here on the PCTV Network Sports, bringing you the Pac-10 wrestling match between two undefeated teams, Boyertown and Springford. Is little action, but they broke the play.
I think he hurt himself there.
Man.
Yeah, he's all right. He twisted his knee a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he might have hyperextended that baby a little bit. These are tough kids, though. Pair of sophomores. Mauger finished third in the Pac-10 last year as a freshman, so he certainly knows how to win some matches.
Well,
it's funny how sometimes it gets so quiet in the gym and you can hear every little noise that comes out there as people cheering on their guy.
See, since I was a coach at this, right now I'd be sitting there, wow, they have to pin all three of these men to beat me. So, you're sitting there as a coach feeling a little bit more confident. But again, as tonight went, none of these kids are backing up. It's been a very good match. Everybody's going at each other.
Yeah. Certainly, you can tell why they're the two premier teams in the area. Boyertown, as I mentioned, #1 seed in the District 1 duels, and Springford is #3, and certainly deservedly so.
Well, we also have Methacton. They're still in the duels. So, like I said, Pac-10 wrestling has come along. We always used to be second to the Neshaminies and down there to Council Rock. But the Pac-10 is no longer in the bottom. They're up at the top, and teams are trying to knock them off now.
Well, O&J certainly had a pretty
good
run there for a couple of years. Springford with Pat Nugent and, of course, Timmy Seislov have done a heck of a job. Ventresca, Bruce Hallman. You had a great run, T, when you were at Pottstown. I mean, everyone's had taken a turn. I mean, you can't overlook what Tommy Hans did over at Upper Perk all those years. They were very, very good as well. So, there's a lot of good wrestling going on in the area. Still no score in this match. That is Hunter Mitch in the blue right in front of us there as they break the plane. And, of course, the red and black hair and the gray uniform for Garrett Mauger. It's nice getting out here doing some of these games. I ran into my buddy Gary Dorenzo, who's the athletic director at Pottsgrove, and always good to see him and talk to him. Talk to Penny Packer a little bit about some Pac-10 football and what's going on. And here we're in the winter of the wrestling season, boys and girls basketball. A lot of things going on. Make sure you get out there and support these kids. They put a lot of time and effort into it. They deserve to have people coming out and cheer them on and watch their efforts. You miss it, Jimmy? You miss not being involved?
I still go back maybe once a week, in January, just to see the kids at Pottstown. And, the kids really like old guys. We're us old guys coming in there. I guess they feel sorry for us sometimes, but they're really appreciative of an older coach coming in there and just, taking some time with them. So they've always come up to me and shook my hand, and I really appreciate that. It's just a nice tradition. These kids, not only are they good wrestlers, but they're well mannered.
Well, it takes a special kid, special breed to be a wrestler. There's no doubt about it. And when Al Ray and I did the Pottstown-Methacton match at Pottstown at Strum Gymnasium, it was kind of neat to look up there on the wall and to see your name and your brother's name and all the wrestlers up there, sectional champs, district champs, and so on. And, of course, the state champ, Paul Green, for Pottstown. But the Joey Allens and all those guys that you had and all those good wrestlers over the years, certainly a great sport. 6 seconds to go here in the middle period. Still no points have scored as these two guys probably as evenly matched as you can get. We talked about two sophomores, Mauger with 20 wins and Mitch with 18. Not a whole lot of difference.
Now there's a strategy where not taking the bottom. He obviously feels he can score points by staying on top. So I'm assuming he's a leg man that we've seen all night tonight for some of these Boyertown kids.
Again, there you can see Mitch trying to block that leg, but sometimes if you get a little high, you talked about trying to sneak out the back door, but now it looks like Mauger does have those long legs. He is a long, lean guy, and he's starting to get that tilt now, and you can see the referee's arm motioning like that. He's got 3 near fall points a while. So there's the first 3 points of the evening, and Mauger's looking to score a little bit more now. Now you can still score with the same hold, right, Jimmy? You have to.
Well, you have to come out of it.
Okay.
And release the grip in order for you, because sometimes it's a continuation.
Okay.
And the referee's not going to give you 2 sets of back point. But now if he's hurt. Oh, he has an asthma attack.
Okay. Okay, obviously Hunter Minch knows what's going on there. And
yeah, he asked for his inhaler.
Okay, we're going to take a timeout while there's a timeout here on the Mets. We'll be right back.
Meet Joe Can Do That. Joe Can Do That can fix anything. He can fix your car. He can fix your vacuum cleaner. He can even fix your electrical problems. But do you really want him to? Call Gehringer Mechanical today for all your electrical needs. Joe Can Do That does.
Hey, we had a little injury time out there, as it said. Hunter Mitch had a hard time breathing. Jimmy, what's the deal with the
well, the injury time is you have a minute and a half. So he could have had, like I said, a minute and a half until recover until he came back. Now, if he would have used up his time and he would have got injured again, the match is over.
Okay. Well, that's a default. There's a 1-pointer for Hunter Mitch. He's now on the downside of a 7-1 score. Mauger did a nice job when he had the legs in there trying to.
I'm sure Coach Seisel said you better get to your feet, because when he puts the legs in, you're going to have a tough time getting out. So here he goes again with the legs.
Yeah. And that's where it can really wear on you, man. I tell you what, that's not a good position to be in when you're on the bottom when they have those legs. And again, with 14 seconds to go, Mauger does have that 8-point spread. Timmy Seisloff wanted to check and see if they had locked hands there. When you come to the match, you have to release that unless you're in a pinning combination.
That's correct.
So we'll see if Hunter Minch can come up and get to the feet and get another escape or not. But looks like Mauger's going to be able to bring him down and
put those
ride
legs
him out. Yeah.
I think, we said a lot of matches were even. I noticed tonight that legs took a lot of that neutrality out of there.
Certainly did. As Garrett Mauger's able to win that one 9-1 and pick up an extra point. So that'll be a 4-point decision. That'll make it 34-13. I think we're going to have Lucas Miller, 25-6, and Matt Kriebel. We talked about Danny a little bit earlier. Here's his younger brother, a young sophomore. Lucas Miller, a solid wrestler. He was second in the Pac-10s last year as a freshman. He's a sophomore now with 8 pins out of his 25 wins.
He's also ranked first this year for the Pottstown Mercury.
And Matty Kriebel, 7
well,
pins.
Doing this broadcast, there's always one guy that we're really going to miss, Don Seeley. So,
no doubt about it. and he loved his Springford. I know he was a neutral guy, but he was an alum of Springford. He loved his Springford Rams, and he certainly would have been here bright and early today, and he certainly enjoyed good wrestling, and we certainly do miss Old Seals, no doubt about it. 34-13 is the score, as Boyertown has clinched the match, and they will remain undefeated and move to 19-0 and 8-0 in the PAC-10. They have one match remaining. Springford will drop to 18-1 and 6-1. They have two matches remaining in the PAC-10. They also have, we mentioned, the district duels this weekend, as Boyertown will take on number 8 ranked Quakertown, and Springford will take on number 6 ranked Penn Ridge.
Yeah.
So you can't really sit around and lick your wounds, Jimmy. You know, you got to get back out there tomorrow and get ready for Friday and Saturday. And there's a lot of wrestling. You're in the dog days of wrestling right now when you get into the end of January, beginning of February.
Well, the district duels was a good idea because a lot of teams who had a strong team, they went to states and they couldn't get a team title. At least now they can get a dual meet team title.
And some teams are a little bit better up and down their lineup than they are with outstanding individuals.
Yes.
And they have a better actual team than they do individuals, because wrestling is that unique sport where, you know, it's an individual match, but there's a team concept as well. So I think that does do a good job of rewarding the team effort, as well as there's a stalemate.
Yeah. One thing I always preach is you take care of your match and it'll take care of the team score, you know what I mean?
Do your job is what they talk about. We have about 6 seconds to go here in the first period. And again, this is going to be another one of those matches.
Another matches, no score,
no scoring in the first period. Even though there's a flurry at the end, is young Matty Kriebel almost got a deuce there on Lucas Miller. Again, we have a couple of sophomores going at it here. So Kriebel will take the down position. Well, before we're done here, who you rooting for on Sunday, Jimmy? Seattle and the Broncos. Who you got?
You know, I like the old guy, Peyton Manning.
Okay.
I think it'd be nice, all the accolades he had this year, setting the most touchdowns. It just would be nice for him to win.
Yeah.
Especially coming back. He had a pretty bad injury.
Oh, also, yeah,
and he
a couple
came
of
back.
neck operations. And, you know, it's funny. I sort of always root for the NFC because that's where the Eagles are, and Seattle's defense is very, very good. But you have to have a soft spot for Peyton Manning, that's for sure, and what he's been able to accomplish in his career. And there's rumors that he may retire if he wins the Super Bowl. I'd hate to see that, because he's certainly a great ambassador for the NFL. But it should be a good game. Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos Sunday. 1:22 here to go in the middle period. Still no score.
Yeah, Lucas, like I said, but all night Boyertown has been very good on top. And they're coached well. They're taught to go for back points and go for pins. There we got a stalling warning.
That's
you can't remain flat on the mat.
The penalty point for Boyertown. There's our first point of the night in this 126-pound match, as that was the second warning on Kriebel. I don't know, T. I'm trying to picture you with a haircut where you got half red hair and half black hair, because back in the day, what you would have had to go in blue and white. That would have been pretty funny, seeing you and all your guys in the blue and white. Old Lee Bonner. I don't know if he would have been all excited about that.
No.
But these kids have team unity, and they all did it, which is pretty neat. Pretty neat thing for the Boyertown Bears, and they're all excited about that. Just under 20 seconds to go, and there's another stalling. That's going to be on top this time. That's going to be on Boyertown. Kriebel grimacing there a little bit as he's getting a little bit tired.
Again, the Granby roll. Nobody has gotten that tonight, but it may be.
Well, Boyertown, just like you, I'm sure, was well drilled against it. And that'll do it for the second period. Still 1-0, and Lucas Miller will take the down position. Matt Kriebel appears to be a little bit hurt or something there. He doesn't seem to be 100%. Now he's on top, and Lucas with an escape. He now has a 2-point lead in the 126-pound weight classes. We've got one more to go. We thought it might come down to 132. Jimmy DeWhite was going back and forth on the seesaw there for a little bit, but boy, Boyertown made a statement at the heavies. Boy, I'll tell you, they really let it known that they were the better team tonight.
Yeah, you talked about that steamrolling effect. That 2 matches right in a row, that's tough when you see those 6 points going up in the team score, because we projected close matches all the way and a close score.
Well, the Jordan boys, both Wood and Wirtz, really had a quick flurry there and 2 big pins at 220 and 285, which really definitely deflated the Springford, not only team, but the fans and everybody else, and that just really started that steamroll effect, as you mentioned, the snowball job rolling downhill, and they got an insurmountable lead. They're up by 21 at this point, and there's another takedown.
2 takedowns.
Yep, for Lucas Miller. He now has a 4-point lead with just under 50 seconds to go, and it appears that he's going to be able to extend his record to 26-6 with a lot of wrestling left in this season. Sophomore Matt Kriebel certainly wrestled hard and has not given him an inch, but Lucas prevailing with a couple of points and then the takedown here in the 3rd period. Still tough for me to get used to this, where they don't start at the lightweights and end with the heavyweights. You know, I'm sort of an old school guy. Uh-oh, there's a potentially dangerous as the arm slid through there, and a good call by
You know what, though? A lot of the heavyweights, they think it's better. You know, they used to be so nervous waiting.
I bet.
If they had to win the match, it was pretty tough.
But you know what? It was amazing, too, how many came down to those last matches. Man, a lot of them used to come down to that. Used to be pretty neat. 4-0 still is the score here as Lucas Miller is going to pull out of this thing with another W for Boyertown. We mentioned the fact that both these 2 teams averaged over 50 points coming into the night. Neither one of them is going to make that, but Boyertown is going to add 3 more on here and get their total up to 37. 37-13 is the score with 1 to go.
Well,
We got Chris Berry and Nick Beauchamp is scheduled. I'm not sure what we got.
Yeah, that's 2. You're right.
Now wrestling at 132 for Boyertown, Chris Berry for Springford, Nick Beauchamp. Okay, Chris Perry is another guy who just broke into the lineup. He's undefeated at 11-0, a young freshman, a 9th grader. 7 pins out of his 11 wins. And Nick Beauchamp, 17-12. He's a junior for Springford. Trying to get the first 2 points there as he brings him back into the match. And
again, this is experience and strength against a young freshman that probably doesn't bother him.
Springford's going to get a point there as it looked like Barry intentionally went out of bounds. So they give him a 1-point penalty. Again, there he's in there nice and deep on Barry.
Now, right there, you call this a scramble drill. No one has control. You both just kind of move around, get your hips up. The guy who gets his hips up and gets around is going to get the point. But I'm sure it's a stalemate.
Yep. Coach Ventresca telling Barry to move a little bit. Circle, circle, circle. Barry certainly looks to be very quick and agile on his feet. We talked about Beauchamp being a little bit more experienced and a little bit more upper body strength. He's up by 1 as he was given that penalty point as Barry intentionally went out of bounds. Now they're back to the middle.
Oh, nice.
Beauchamp still hasn't given it yet.
Yeah, he's getting that whiz. If he gets that whizzer on the outside in and his hips up, but it looks like
there's a two-pointer.
2 points.
There's a good job by Barry. Hard to believe these young ninth graders are out there contributing as much as they do. And he brings Beauchamp to the mat rather rudely. And they break the play, and they'll be back out in the middle. 15.2 seconds to go.
Somebody got hurt. It looks like hurt his ribs or something. He's coming back.
Got to be careful. Got to bring him to the mats. Good job by Beauchamp in getting up on his feet. There's a caution on top. Trying to anticipate that whistle a little bit. We've seen that quite a few times tonight.
Should have got hit again. His arm moved.
And that'll do it for the first period with Barry up by 1. 2-1 is the score in our last match of the evening. 14 matches they have now. 14 weight classes in high school. This will be the finale. Again, Boyertown has the match in hand, and we'll, again, move on to 8-0 in the PAC-10 and get themselves ready for Friday night. Springford will have to regroup rather quickly, as they must do the same against the number 6 seed Penridge.
Yeah. They get 1 day tomorrow and then Friday, Saturday.
That's it, yeah. More wrestling. So you talk about endurance and stamina, that's where that comes in. Good job of Barry bringing him down to the mats. Beauchamp does a nice job of getting to his feet, but having a hard time trying to break the handle that Barry puts on there. Uh-oh, something came off.
Somebody's fingers are taped.
Yeah. Trying that little cradle move as he works it, but Beauchamp doing a good job of blocking.
So, like I said, I'm impressed with Boyertown on top. They have good hand control underneath. They don't let Springford get that roll.
Okay, Coach, here's that slam.
I think I got a little blood coming here.
Here's a slam.
Okay, watch the back man lift his hips in so that he can get that guy airborne. Now he has to come down with him, and he did. Notice as both people hit the mat at the same time. So that was not called a slam.
And I thought at one time you had to have your knee hit first or whatever,
Yeah.
so that you sort of break the fall. And I guess there's some blood over here on Barry.
Now blood is different. That's 5 minutes.
Okay.
You get. It's different from the injury time.
You see the young lady out here wiping everything up.
We'll be right back.
We're going to take a timeout as well. We'll be right back for the last couple of minutes of this match.
Allergies? Carpet One Floor and Home just made carpet installation healthier. Our new Healthier Living installation minimizes dust, mold, and allergens. Better than home centers, it's antimicrobial, hypoallergenic, simply cleaner. Breathe easier. You'll love it. A healthier installation exclusively at Carpet One Floor and Home. Beautiful. Made affordable.
We're back here with 45 seconds to go in the second period. We're in our last match of the evening at the 132-pound weight class. Chris Berry, a freshman, maintains a very slim 1-point lead over the junior Nick Beauchamp of Springford. We just had a momentary break there as there was a little bit of blood coming off the knee of Chris Berry. Certainly nothing to stop the match or halt the match there, D.
You would think some guys would want to get an injury a little bit to get their air back, you know.
Yeah,
but
a little rest
no,
going on.
You know, there's a lot of times if you don't have your knee pads on, you can get brush burns.
Absolutely. There you see the scoreboard here down at Springford. And again, I want to thank Kurt David Heiser, Scotty Breidenbach, Final Results Fitness, and Ryan Vermillion for helping us out put on tonight's wrestling match. And again, this really whets our appetite for that Pac-10 Championships, which will be Saturday, February 15th at Boyertown High School. Stay tuned for that one. Beauchamp on top here now, trying to hold Barry down as Barry gets to his feet. Brings him down to the mats. But he's got to get something going. He's down by 1 here. So he has to try to get a tilt, get some back points.
See, a lot of strategy right there. When you hang on the mat, get out of bounds so you get another start. You actually, that top guy is killing time, and that's one of the strategies I think kids got to get another start. And the more starts you have, the more chances you have of scoring points.
But if the top guy pushes a little bit, he can get you out of bounds as well, not only the bottom wrestler. But again, they got that 2-on-1 going, and he just can't get anything happening with that, the young freshman. But again, Beauchamp has to get something going offensively.
Yeah.
Got to try and get a tilt here somewhere.
That's what he's looking to set up.
Barry is undefeated. He comes in 11-0 with 7 pins. So,
if he's not going to be moving off that bottom, though,
they're going to get another stalling call. He's got to move.
He gave him a point, so he's going to think to take down the time.
Beauchamp figures he couldn't get anything going from the top position. And again, now Barry's backing up.
If he backs up, he's going to get hit.
Yep. Beauchamp is definitely pushing the issue and forcing action, but Barry does a nice job. He's in on a double. Nope. Break the plane. Right in front of us. 28.5 seconds to go. This is where you have to reach down deep in that reserve tank. Barry shows pretty good quickness.
As long as Barry keeps making occasional shots. Oh, trying to scramble out the back.
Say, here's your scramble time
again,
T.
I think he's going to hold the legs. They'll get a stalling.
There's a stalemate.
Now, I'll tell you, we practice in the practice room with 8 seconds left. You can still win the match. So, but this Barry kid, he's relentless.
And that'll do it. And a good win for the freshman.
Good win for
undefeated. Yeah.
Excellent match for the freshman.
Yep. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's ball game, and Jimmy and I are going to wrap this up when we come back. 40-13 is the final score. Boyertown remains undefeated.
Meet Joe Can Do That. Joe Can Do That can fix anything. He can fix your car. He can fix your vacuum cleaner. He can even fix your electrical problems. But do you really want him to? Call Gehringer Mechanical today for all your electrical needs. Joe Can Do That does.
Hey, Bob. What's got you down?
I just can't seem to find a pharmacy that's right for me.
Grab your cap. I'm taking you to Professional Pharmacy.
At Professional Pharmacy, we're open and able to fill prescriptions 365 days a year and accept most insurance plans. Our professional staff offers individualized assistance with a variety of services, and we're the largest medical equipment provider in the area.
Professional Pharmacy is awesome.
And I love your new cap.
40-13 is the finals. Boyertown remains undefeated with a big win over Springford. And you know, Jimmy, when the match started out, it was back and forth, a little seesaw, back and forth. Hit the 182-pounders, and they got 3 pins and a big win in there at the heavyweights. Certainly turned the tide in favor of Boyertown.
Well, I think Springford knew they in the middle they had a chance of winning some matches in the middle of their lineup. Once they got to the top, you can see why they're rated so well. I think they took the sting out of them once those pins came. It seemed like even the fans got out of the match tonight. But you can understand why Boyertown is ranked number 4 in the state. Yeah. They're very good.
They certainly are. And again, Springford now, again, even though they did not win this match, had some bright spots along the way, and they had some good individual match. They had no time to lick their wounds, though. They got to come back for a big match against Penridge on Friday. Yeah, that's a big one for them. And we could also see this rematch on Saturday because they're in the opposite bracket. So Sci-Stuff did a nice job. Springford has nothing to be ashamed of. Boyertown had a little more extra beef up top to get them rolling. Well, he certainly did. Both Jordans, Wood and Wirt, certainly were a difference here this evening. But again, it's 40-13 is the final as Boyertown stays undefeated. Springford drops to 1 loss. For Jimmy Jaconis, I'm Dave Ridenauer. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more sports right here on the PCTV Network Sports.
And you got GMP Trail on the tail end. Should be a good one.
Okay, moving into the second swimmers. Upper Perk A in lane 1, Alexis Sloyer, Laurelwood, Abby Winand. Lane 3, Baker Park, Cassidy Hoops. Lane 4, Skip Axe, Maddie Rogers.
And as
lane 5, 9 Oaks, Aaron